What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic one time for the one time. We back with another video, of course. Speaking on the effect that Mayweather McGregor fight has on the Canelo Triple G pay-per-view card September 16th. If they choose to elect the day of August 26th. We're doing a face-to-face today. Very rare. I usually only, do face-to-face after the immediate reaction of the fight I'm covering or a fight that goes on, a big fight. But we're here today, and maybe we can do more of these, in the future. But, the thing of it is that the most important thing that Oscar did win an individual battle by securing the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Because if that fight would have went anywhere else, it would have been second rate to Mayweather McGregor for sure on that date. Because Mayweather McGregor definitely would have slid into that date like sliding into a bad bitch's DM. Because they would have slid, if they'd have got the T-Mobile Arena, that's what everybody wants to come to see a fight. That's the fight capital. Anywhere else, Canelo Triple G would have won on the same day, would have been second rate, and that's just a fact, and that's why Oscar waited so long to get the venue. I think it's the proper place for that fight to be center stage on September 16th, and now Mayweather and McGregor and TMT Promotions are securing the bag August 26th at the T-Mobile at the MGM Grand, which I think is a T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. I'm not sure. I think that's what it is now, but I'm not positive. Can enrich me on that or enlighten me, but it's now they're trying to win the war for the simple fact that they're fighting August 26th. I want to say that's about 2 weeks span before Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. And let's be quite frank, a lot of people don't want to spend $60, $70, $80 on the pay-per-view twice in a 2 week span. Let alone a 2 month span, a 3 month span, a 4 week span, or whatever it is in between. A lot of people don't like spending $80, on a fight, and especially if Mayweather McGregor fails to live up to the hype, it's going to make people more prone not to want to order the Triple G and Canelo Alvarez fight. That's going to be affected that fight, and the simple fact is hopping the date, before before Triple G and Canelo Alvarez is smart business because people itching, closer to fight itches too. More people just become interested. They peak, they interest peak even more, and you gonna be one of those hardcore people. I'm not supporting that fight. Fuck that fight. And it's a Saturday in August, and which is very rare, where you wouldn't have anything to do, or it's a dog day. It's no regular season football on in. There's no basketball on in, no hockey. It's the dog days. And you sitting at home on a Saturday night and you got $80, you're not about to go out, or right before you go out, you had nothing to do, and you say for 6 months or 4 or 5 months leading up to this fight, you say you're not buying it. And a lot of people cave in. I've seen it happen time and time again. A lot of people caved in and bought the Chavez Jr. and Canelo pay-per-view, and they did over $1 million. So you see it time and time again. You see it. It's very prone, but the thing about it is they're hopping in front of Triple G and Canelo because they couldn't get that gate, or they couldn't get that day because they want to steal the viewership. They know if you get ahead of them, more people is going to want to spend their money right now than waiting 2 weeks for Triple G. Not saying that most people won't buy both of them, but just getting in before, getting the people's money while they have it then, and then certain waiting later, and Triple G and Canelo they waiting later, and you might not have it then, You spend $80, week one, and 2 weeks later, you got to turn around and spend another $80, especially if the Mayweather McGregor fight disappoints. And that's the financial implications of that, That's the reason why Mayweather wants to hop in front of the Canelo date now, the Canelo Triple G date now. Even though we all know that McGregor and Mayweather is a freak show, and, for most people think it's bad for boxing. You got some people that think it's good for boxing to show that Mayweather is superior in his home sport. But for the real winner is Conor McGregor. He in a win-win situation. Even if he lose, he still won $75 million and damn near tripled his purse tripled his purse from 2016, depending on what TV shares he get on the back end of the pay-per-view. And if he wins, he looks like he looks even better, and makes UFC looking that much better. Mayweather is a winner regardless, because he might see, especially if this pay-per-view breaks numbers, he might see, almost $300 million. So, for people who's bashing Mayweather, talking about this is bad for the sport, you're going to tell somebody who's guaranteed to make about $150 million or 150 million or $200 million that don't do it. It's bad for the sport. Anytime somebody has that opportunity to make that type of money, why the fuck wouldn't you? You look yourself in the face in the mirror and tell yourself you wouldn't fight for that amount of $1 million for the sport, or for the pride of the sport, or for the betterment of the sport. But Oscar De La Hoya was going to throw Canelo Alvarez in there. He vied for Canelo Alvarez. Bob Arum vied for Pacquiao to take the fight. So they just hating on Mayweather that he had the idea first and he put it in motion. And that's him. But and do I like the fight? Absolutely not. But I can't knock a man for going to make almost $300 million potentially in the fight and breaking pay-per-view numbers. It'll be funny to see what many rounds that is and what's the implications if McGregor tries an MMA move or all that other shit. But basically, financial wise, they're trying to get in front of Canelo and Triple G and steal that audience. And I can't be mad at them. I can't be mad at them. Oscar's been picking at Floyd for years now. They've been going back and forth, even hiring his father as a trainer. And now Floyd is trying to, stick it to him. So, put it to you this way, I'm in on this. You say that, if Mayweather and McGregor stinks up the joint, it doesn't live up to the bill, And then Canelo and Triple G pay-per-view numbers, they fall, under what they estimated to do with about 1.5, almost 2 million pay-per-view views. Everybody's gonna blame Mayweather. Oh, he fucked up the pay-per-view again, like he did with Pacquiao, or he did this, or he did that. That's what you're gonna hear. Pretty much that's what you're gonna hear. They're gonna be blaming him for all of that, and I'm not mad at them. And we gone.